Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be update 5,765 of pan in every palette. Just kidding, not that many, but I've been doing this project for a while. I love this project. And so it just keeps on going. The whole point of this project is to try and hit one pan in every palette you own. I like the idea of it. It was created by my girlfriend, Lady Pans a Lot, over on Instagram. We are a collaborative group of women doing this project together, and I will have all of their channels linked down below, either on Instagram or here on YouTube, so that you could check them out and see how their projects are going. I bet you most of them are doing better than me. This project's really slow going. I am working on a ton of eyeshadows right now. The eyeshadows that I have in projects are just a small fraction of my overall collection of eyeshadows, and yet I still have so many to choose from day to day, so many different looks I can create, so much variety. It's mind-boggling that I went out and bought all of the eyeshadows that I own, and even just working on this itty-bitty portion is enough, more than enough, way more than enough. It's eye-opening. Since I knew from the start that this would be a fairly slow-moving project for me, I decided to track usages of each time I use the eyeshadow that I'm trying to hit pan on, and that way I would have something to talk about with all of these monthly updates. As usual, I start with the palette that has the fewest uses and work my way up to talking about the palette that I used the most over the past month. So let's start with the palette I used the least. I'm sure it's going to be no surprise to any of you who've been watching these updates, but Pat McGrath got the shaft again. This is my Pat McGrath La Vie in Rose palette. The eyeshadow I am trying to hit pan on is right here, and I used it once yesterday, and that is it. I made sure I used it yesterday to at least be able to say I used it once, which is my minimal goal for all 4 eyeshadows in this project. I want to use them at least once in a month, so I can say that I did that, but no more. This palette has been in this project the entire time, which is well over a year, more like a year and 7 months, and I've used this a total of 17 times, so I haven't even used this once a month. What? That's ridiculous. I need to get going on this, although you can tell that it's been used. There's no dips. It's really pathetic, and I'm sorry. I should be doing more with this than I am. The palette that I used the next most is my Yes Please palette from Colorpop. I am trying to hit pan on the yellow shade right here. When I look at this from the side, I do see the tiniest of dips forming, but I only used it 3 times in the last month. Can you see that little dip right there? There's a little dip starting, so that's encouraging, but I need to use it a lot more. So far I've used this eyeshadow 11 times, and this has only been in the project for a few months. So I have been using this more consistently than the Pat McGrath one. The next palette is my Natasha Denona Green Brown palette. I am trying to hit pan on Moonstone, which is this one right here, with a fairly obvious dip going on. I used this shadow 5 times in the past month for a total of 48 uses so far. In regards to this palette here, I had set a separate side goal of using some of the other shades throughout the month, and I didn't really do well with that. I did use this lighter brown in a look the other day, but that's about it. There's still some untouched eyeshadows in here. So I'm going to keep that goal going to make sure that at least all of the eyeshadows in this palette have been used at least one time. Okay, and the last palette that I'm going to talk about in this update is my Makeup Revolution blush palette in Sugar and Spice. The shade that I'm trying to hit pan on is this one right here. I've used this shade 7 times in the last month. I did also use number 6. This one time, and this one time. Once, and 7. So I did get some good use out of this palette. I've used this shade a total of 40 times already, which, I mean, if I could use any of those other 3 palettes as consistently as I've used this palette, I'd be in a lot better shape. There's no pan yet, obviously. And I could be fooling myself, but I feel like I will be hitting pan in the next couple months. Maybe next month, maybe 2 more months, but I feel like pan is coming. So I think this is the one I'm gonna hit pan on first. All right, guys, that is it for this update. I know it's a slow moving project. I always knew it would be from the start, but I'm just glad I'm using these palettes, and I know some of you guys say that to me as well, so at least I'm getting some use out of these palettes because of this project, and when I do eventually hit pan, it makes it all worth it. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at these 4 palettes, and hopefully there will be pan in this guy right here in the next month or 2. That will be exciting. If you're not already subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you consider subscribing. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.